Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 2 of Unrestricted is here, and we've flown across the Atlantic to Canada to meet Greasy Sam Squanch. Actually, no, we didn't. We just went on Zoom, press a few buttons, and boom, it's done. We're having a conversation. Then Royal Niggling bits. As always, technology. We're getting old. Old. Um, Technology baffles us. But yeah, we had that conversation. But before we do get into it, I want to take this moment to point you to the logo that's appearing on the top right of the screen. You've not seen it before, and it's going to be there for the next few weeks. Now, this is for Raffy and Siddy, who are identical twins from London who have been diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy. It's a condition that does require a lot of treatment, and the family is trying to raise some funds for treatment. So what I'm doing here is we're going to try and raise awareness through this podcast, and also make a plea. If you can, do go to the GoFundMe description, link in the description down below, and donate anything that you possibly can. If you can't, that's okay. Go and check it out anyway, and at least raise awareness about it. Now, what I'm going to pledge is anything that we do get from this channel in the first month of YouTube Partner Program, I'm going to donate to Raffy and Siddy as well. So that's my pledge. But anyway, you come for the podcast. Greasy's are waiting for you. So let's just go over, fly over to Canada, and meet Greasy. Hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned. Stay greasy. Thanks for joining me, mate. It's bit of
Thanks for having me.
yeah, it's a bit of an interesting thing that I'm doing. Completely out of my comfort zone. Just need to adjust this one. But I figured we're all doing this like gaming together, and how much do we really know each other? Um,
We
you know,
don't. We just know each
we
other
don't.
by our screen names. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Um, and then you find someone through someone else. I think I found you via Slipstream, wasn't it? Um,
It'd be
so you're like, right, who is this person? Like, I know there's this screen name, but who is Greasy? Like the whole Sam Squanch thing. I mean, I was going to ask you what that is because that's a Canadian thing, I'm guessing.
Sam Squanch.
Yeah, even the accent itself. But like when I first saw your stream, I'm like, the first thing that drew me to you wasn't even you. It was the orange car to that side and the silver car
Okay.
to that side. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah, this guy's he's a McLaren boy. Um,
Well, you know what? I love my Lego Technic stuff. I love my Lego stuff. But since I have my
mate,
thumb surgery, I can't really
have you
do it that
seen
much. But
all of that?
there you
All
go. My
they're all
son just
speed
bought
tracks.
me the Dom's charger
I think
from
I've got
Fast
that
and
one.
the
Do I have that
Furious.
one?
And I
Uh,
picked up the Paul Walker one too the other day.
it's still in the box.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Ooh, they have another new set out that's the McLaren F1 with another like super fancy McLaren. I can't even
Yeah.
remember what it's called, but we got that one. That's a good one too.
So yeah,
I
so
did all this just for this though. I have an unfinished basement, so I basically
yeah.
just drywalled all of this and painted it all and then hung my stuff up. So I have my own little corner down here. But
Do you know what? It looks amazing. Like it's just like I've got a
if you go
McLaren
back in
tech.
my shorts, you can see the evolution of the channel going from the wall that I was blending
Yeah,
into to
I will be doing that as well. I'll
to
be checking
this.
that out. But yeah, so wait, so who is Greasy? Where did the name
Recent,
come
well,
from?
the name came from, well, that came back from, oh, I would have been in my 20s. Trailer Park Boys, of course, came
Yeah,
out and went deep into that with one of my buddies. But it all started out with we went for a go kart thing with work one night. And I was at a local go kart track here, the Speeder's Place, and you had to make up your own track name.
yeah,
So decided I was just going to be Greasy Sam Squanch. And it's stuck ever
and it
since. And I've
sticks.
held all the leaderboards there. So people know Sam Squanch here. So
Are they following you to
I just,
YouTube? That's the
it just
thing.
stuck. Some of them do. I haven't done the YouTube for very long though. I've had it on for a while, but I've only really started to do it in the last probably 5, 6 months.
So we
I've
all
really started
started.
to work on it, but
So we've all kind of started at a very similar time. Like I know I started about October or November.
yeah, that would have been right around the same time for
Yeah.
me too.
I know Sparks were had in the other episode. He's only been around for about 4 or 5 months as well, doing his YouTubing. So
We're all going up right
yeah,
around the same. It's pretty neat to
yeah.
see it all
And
come up at the same time.
who else? McNaughty. He's not long been around as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I've
yeah,
started to
it's
see him pop up more and more and more now.
Yeah, I mean, he was on my chat yesterday, which is you watch these people and all of a sudden they're joining you, and it's just a bit mind-boggling how it all happens, isn't it? That we
I
actually find
found
the
as
time.
soon as I started really focusing on the Gran Turismo and YouTube and stuff like that, more and more things started to come up in my feed because you're just researching stuff more.
Yeah,
But people that I had never even heard of were popping up on there, and then I've followed so many more people now
yeah.
because of it. It's crazy.
I mean, I actually came across someone yesterday, which I need to sit down and watch some of his videos, but someone commented on one of my videos, and said to check out this guy out, and I'm like, right, I'll check it out because sometimes you see people that got no videos, and you're like, I'm not really going to
Yeah.
subscribe to someone with no videos, really. Come on,
All right.
give me something. Um, but this guy, he's about got the same amount of followers or subscribers as us, and he's done a video where he's doing a race in reverse.
That sounds crazy.
So I think he was driving around Brands Hatch in reverse.
Yeah, what kind of car?
I can't remember. I've got to check it out
That's
afterwards.
got to be tough. That's got to
Yeah,
be tough.
his name is JAK. I'll probably tag it in here. Give him a bit of exposure.
There
Um,
you go.
but yeah, it just you find someone. It's like there's a video. Something that they do that someone else hasn't thought about, and then you kind of just roll with it. Then don't you?
See, that's my part. It's the hardest thing for me is coming up with titles and things like that and new ideas. Like with the videos and things like that, I'm still so new to editing and things like that.
Yeah,
The ones I've done are pretty greasy, but
yeah.
I
That fits
figured
in.
I've gotten more luck with the shorts than
Yeah,
anything.
I don't. I've given up on shorts. I think because
Okay.
I know they have their benefit, but what I was finding is that people would subscribe, but then they would unsubscribe within about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking, all that effort, is it really worth it for me? I mean, then I'll start to see a drop off in my long form videos. So I thought I'll keep it to a very small minimum.
Short videos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your videos are good though. I've been hanging into your whole videos and things like that. The really long ones, even for somebody that really likes Gran Turismo, they're hard to watch the whole thing.
that's one thing I am working on. You see the videos that I'm doing at the moment. My main thing is the retention graph. I think I spoke about it was Sparks. I want to get like a straight line. I don't care where it is, but I want to get a straight line. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to aim to be over the 33%. And I've noticed that the last couple of videos that I've done, they have been kind of flatlining, which shows what you're saying that you're
Start
probably
watching
stick.
it.
Yeah, I think it's to do with
Yeah,
the editing.
definitely.
Um, the Super GT, he's copying me. No, to be fair, I got the idea from him, but
I saw that little tag that you made in there. That was good little jab jab.
yeah, he done it once and then he didn't really do it again. But I thought, okay, because how I'm editing now, it's taking longer because I'm having to do the video or the gameplay, then save the replay, record the replay. So I've got to watch it again, and I've got to put them side by side to do the edit to make it look like a broadcast.
With the
Um,
different camera angles and all that
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
and now Super GT's doing that, but he's doing the third person view. So I'm
Okay.
doing something. I'm doing something. So the big
It's
man's
tricky. It's hard to get that. There's been times where I've been doing videos and things like that, and I'm into it, and then all of a sudden I just lose all motivation. I'm just like, man, this is garbage.
I had that a few
Like I'm
weeks
not
ago.
even gonna bother.
I
But I was
think.
trying to do that on Clipchamp for the most time, and Clipchamp is a waste of time.
Oh yeah, don't bother with
Absolute waste of
Clipchamp.
time.
The only thing that Clipchamp was good for is they give you the free screen stuff, and I took the like, subscribe, and share thing out of there, saved it as a little
Okay.
3 second video, and used that in CapCut.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
But
See, there's some things that it had Clipchamp had that was actually pretty good. Clipchamp is really good for banging out shorts very quickly,
yeah,
really quickly because it's so click and play. But
yeah.
I got that DaVinci Resolve now, and that's
Uh,
blowing
Do,
my
do
mind, man.
you know what? I've got DaVinci, and that's what I was using, and I thought it's too complicated. And because I want to do 4K, the render in
Yeah,
itself. I mean, I was trying to
I've
get a
heard
video.
that if you do most of your editing and stuff in just 1080 and not 4K,
Yeah,
it's a lot quicker. And then just when you go to render it out or whatever, switch to the 4K. But I haven't done anything in 4K yet.
yeah. But I just use CapCut. which is annoying because they've got a pro version. They've made me upgrade. They say, "Oh, it's a free upgrade." So you upgrade, and then when you get
course
back
it
in,
is.
it's like, "This is pro. That's pro. That's pro." So you kind of lose like half of the things, and I'm like, oh, "It is what it is." But I can render a 20-minute video in about 5 minutes in 4K, which
Well, that's good. I
which
haven't tried that one yet.
but yeah, but I used to try and get everything done really quick. So I might go back to DaVinci because I used to edit a video in the evening, finish editing at 9:30, and want to get it live by 10:30. And that's
Yeah,
just
see, that was my thing too. As soon as I was done, I'm like, let's get it online as quick as I can.
yeah. So like
That's what
now,
that was the thing. That's a mistake for me for sure.
yeah. So like now I'm just 6 a.m. That's my release time. So if anyone in the UK wants to watch my videos, it's at 6 a.m. They're probably getting up and they're probably going to the toilet.
I heard you talking to Sparks about that, thinking about this. That's
Yeah.
stuff I never even think of. I know in my little algorithm thing, it wants me streaming pretty much when Rory and Key end.
Oh
That's like
yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning for me, like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, I got kids. I can't do that.
Well,
And
especially
I've tried to
competing
change it.
and
Well, I've tried to change it and like stream later times where when Grove's streaming or something like that. I just don't get the views at nighttime. They want me on during the day for me.
yeah, because your nighttime would be our morning, isn't no, no, yeah.
Well,
So
right
our
now
morning.
it's 1 o'clock here.
See, it's 8 p.m. here now.
Okay.
So I'm going to bed in a bit. You still got a whole afternoon to go.
All right. Yeah, I still got a bunch of stuff I got to do.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, it's all fun and games. I just think the community is amazing. Like even Rory, like yesterday, I was streaming. I had two people watching. I'm thinking, oh, two random people watching. All of a sudden, just came to stop by quickly and drop a like, and it's Rory. And I'm like, what? Hold on, I've got
Rory came in. Nice. That's all good.
Rory
I
was one
see.
of
I haven't had any Rorys or Keys popping in, that's for sure.
yeah.
I've
So
had James drop me what do they call those things? The raid or
oh, the
whatever.
raids, yeah,
He did that to me once. That was pretty cool.
yeah. James, you still haven't raided me. Uh,
I got lucky. I was actually watching his channel and he's like, Greasy, let's check him out. I'm like, what? That's
no,
me.
to be fair, I don't really stream that often. I keep saying I want to stream more. I want to stream more, and then it gets to it, and I'm like, I just want to get the video done. Um,
Yeah, see, you're into that video thing now. I was into that. I got the computer and everything for it. And then I start getting more and more views on my live streams. And I was like, you know what? Live streams are actually working. So I
yeah,
was sticking with the shorts and the live streams. And I like the live stream part of it. I like having people pick the cars and
yeah,
act like a complete fool in front of them, crash, do well. Like last night's Nations race, that was crazy.
yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
We'll probably race soon. Because I created my US account.
I saw that. I saw that yesterday.
Which I mean, I do have a shorts out of it. A Mexican guy, called Sigala. I mean, he's just literally trying to knock me off on purpose.
So you
Uh,
started from scratch with that one then, obviously, eh?
yeah, that was the first
See,
five
I was
races.
thinking about starting another one from dead because I'm almost at A+ on my second account.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll do the grind and do the music rallies and all that, and I'll start another account from dead last at the bottom and
you only
work the
need to
way up
do
again.
one music rally. Um,
I thought you had to do two or three. Oh,
no, it's just the one. I only had to do the one.
oh,
Um,
okay.
and then you go straight into the world map. But that's the hardest bit is doing the first 9 menu books.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
what you
annoying
need to
bit.
unlock it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I might get my son on here. I think he can finally reach the pedals. Maybe I'll get him to roll through the
yeah, just get him to do the
licenses and
first
stuff.
nine. Yeah,
Right?
just create a US account, create a European account, create an Australian account, and just
Go
get
to
him to
work,
do all of
kid.
that. Yeah,
Go to work. He'd
yeah.
probably love it.
Instead of you give him $5 or something like that, he'll love it.
No, he's good. My kids had a snow removal business this winter. They made bank, absolute bank this
Bloody hell,
winter.
that's
They made more than me probably.
yeah, that is true because you guys get a massive amount of snow there, don't you?
They got lucky this winter because we did have a fair amount of snow, but it wasn't like it seems like it's less and less every year. Like I don't know if it's just when I was little
No, we're
because
getting
I
it
was
more and more
smaller, it
here.
seemed like more. But yeah, it doesn't seem like we get as much. But they were getting paid X amount of dollars per house, whether it snowed or not. So
Yeah,
there was a
that's not
couple
bad.
months where it didn't snow at all, but yeah, not bad for an 11 and 7-year-old.
Yeah, I mean they're making more than you at that age. Imagine what they'll be making at
Right?
your age.
I
But
kept
yeah,
telling him, I was like, you got to keep doing this. I'm like, you guys are making like $70 an hour doing this.
I wish I was making that.
That's what I
Um,
started thinking. I was like, maybe I got to do that.
but yeah, I need to try and get my I'm gonna get my tablet out if it's got any charge because you had a little announcement to make that you've already made.
I did. Well, it kind of got spilled a little early from Hyperx, so I kind of had to let it out there. And one of my teammates on the stream last night kind of let the cat out of the bag
Yeah.
too. But yeah, I did. I have switched from the Knights to Team Hyperx now, which is really cool. Super welcoming team, very well organized team. Already got me my helmet, my driver's suit, all that stuff. So
So you got all the virtual gear. Um,
all of it, except for a livery. I need a livery for Saturday, but I think they're working on those
or
right
they're
now.
working on that. If they want to make me one, go ahead. Let's have a
Yeah, but
look at it.
Slipstream is really good at making liveries.
Oh, he is. He's got
He
the
loves doing them.
He was talking about on his other stream about that banner at the top, wasn't he? He did your one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did my banner. He took the banner off of my page somehow because I, in my being dumb with computers or whatever, I made all my banners and the logo and all that. And then I was running out of space on the computer, so I started deleting stuff. So I deleted all that. So
Yeah.
I don't even have an original copy of my
Right.
logo.
My Huawei tablet doesn't want to open any posts on YouTube, so can't get that up. But I'll try and
Yeah, there's a post with Hyprix on Instagram and same with their YouTube as well. And I posted it on my community channel as
yeah,
well.
I'll try and get that shared
But
and
yeah,
added to the description here, so if anyone wants to check that out. But I mean, for anyone who doesn't really know about these league races like me, what tell me a bit. What is it that you do in these league races? Do you just have like a league system and race against local people, or is it like a national or
well, the ones that I just got into it, I did my first league, true league race because I've always been nations, manufacturers, doing that stuff. That was my bread and butter for the longest time. But that was before I was streaming. But I found this GT Champions group, and they were running a Porsche Cup. So I was like, I drive for Porsche manufacturers. Maybe I got a chance.
yeah,
So I went into that. They did a qualifier race and all that kind of stuff to determine divisions and grid order and all that. And I think they had 3 divisions in that Porsche Cup with drivers from all over the world. There was Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, Europe, all over the place. And really clean racing. It's a whole nother ball game doing it with league racing because you when you go for a move around the outside on somebody, you
yeah,
can trust that they're not just going to squeeze you off and push you out because there's rules. You're going to get penalties, things like that. But one I'm in now is with GT Champions as well. It's the World Cup they're calling it. It's 10 races, 2 hour long enduros every Saturday. It's
yeah. That's two
it's
hours.
a
Like,
drive, that's for sure, man. And you get one pit window, but they do it all. It's reverse grid, and it's a lot of fun. It's the dailies have their place. Nations and manufacturers have their place, but league racing is it's the cleanest, closest fun racing you're gonna have for sure.
yeah, that's the one thing that do struggle. Like I like racing clean, and I always have to try and explain to people there's being dirty and then there's being rubbish. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of times when I crash into someone, that's called me being rubbish. Um,
Well, if you're honestly making
yeah,
mistakes and you own up to them, if you pull over,
yeah,
let the person by, like that's the best
yeah,
way to say sorry is you wait for the person, let them
yeah.
go by,
I
and
did
then
that
they
on
know
my
you're like screwed up.
I did that in my one of my last videos. And I was about to rage quit because I got
Never
taken
rage
out
quit.
at Watkins Glen. I got taken out of the bus stop, and I'm thinking, lap one, I've spun round. But as soon as I turned the car back around, I've realised that the guy was actually waiting.
Yeah, see, it
And,
changes things, right?
and at that point, I'm
It
like,
kind of calms you down that little bit,
yeah, I
and
was
you're
like,
like, all right, you know what? Head down, keep going.
yeah, I was like, fair dues. Like, I'll carry on now. And then I got a decent result towards the end of it. But yeah, so people like that, I actually just find that it's quite a lot of respect. Um, and
Mhm.
with me, it's a lot of it is ability. Um,
Well, that's the thing. Like everybody's learning, right? And it even happens in top split races. Like last night in the nations race, I don't want to blast anybody out here, but the guy came and apologized afterwards because we were in a great race. I chose the wrong tires at the beginning. I didn't choose. I forgot to change my tires at the beginning
yeah,
of the race to the mediums. So the three of us, top 3 guys, we took off. And then the last half of the race, the soft guys just started catching up with us in T-Spap and I think it was heavy right foot. we were in a heated battle. T-Spap was on the softs, the other two of us were on the mediums, and T-Spap got into the back of heavy right foot that just launched me off into that hairpin on Grand Valley. So that was a little bit of but he pulled over and let us all go by
Yeah.
it afterwards and whatever, but it's all good. But still, you lose that time and you're like, oh, I think I lost 3 more spots because of it, right? Because it dropped us back so far, but
Yeah. But you can't be mad at that. That's just one of those. Um,
it is what it is.
it's the ones that purposely go out there just to take you out.
We
Yeah, I
all know
think
who those ones are. I've got a few shorts with one. I had one short that was my best short. I think it hit 48,000 views. And it
48,000.
was, yeah, that was the best one I've ever
Blimey.
had, but it's been going for a couple months now. It just slowly keeps going up. I think I got 80 some subscribers from it. But
Right. So shorts is the
it was
thing.
Wacky Tobacco. That was the guy's name. And he was just railing people 3 races in a row. And I was racing him clean. He'd knock me off. And I was like, all right, you're done. And I punted that so hard. I think in the title of it is like sorry, not sorry, or something like that.
So you don't get to experience the pleasure of Kimi Vellicini, do you? You've
No, but
heard of
we
him.
do have our own Kimmy. Oh, I've seen all
I've
the
oh
videos on Kimmy.
I've been warned of
Have
one.
you raced him?
I've raced Kimi a few times. Yeah, it's when you go in and he says, "Hey, Chunky," and
You call
you
him for
know
it, right? He goes for the YouTubers. That's what I've noticed
it.
with him. There's other people that he just lets them roll by no problem, and then everybody else, oh, I'm gonna be on YouTube. I'm coming for you.
And the thing is, I think I know who we might be.
Oh,
And do I say it? I'm going to say it. I have a feeling it's either Coque Lopez or Jose Manuel Brea.
really? Some like top guys then, eh?
Why
Just
wouldn't it be?
trolling, eh?
Because you think that guy is
They're so
ridiculous.
fast though, too. He's so quick.
I've
That's
raced
the part that
Coque,
I don't get.
I've raced
Yeah.
Coque and Brea, and I've raced Kimi. Never at the same time.
Never at the same. It's like a Superman thing going on here.
But I could be completely wrong, and it could be someone else completely different.
Well, because you always see Tidney talking about this list and reporting people, same with Key, but you never see anybody get banned. And if these guys are like top guys with their other accounts, maybe Gran Turismo wants that exposure, the greasiness. Because you know what? In all my shorts, the dirty driver ones go the furthest.
They are the ones, like, even when I had like about 200 subscribers and I put a Kimmy video out, that video just shot. That just
You put
gets,
that name in there and yeah.
yeah,
I can't remember what's something mattress, Chalky Mattress. He's the North American Kimmy,
Chucky
and he's the
Mattress.
same way. Yeah, he's had a few names, but he's actually been banned a couple times, but not for driving, for speech and chat.
Oh, that's a bit different, isn't it? But I've been
Yeah,
warned about Los Vikingos.
so I don't recognize that name.
So it
No.
might be in a B lobby or an A lobby, but
Okay,
I'm definitely keeping an eye out on that one now.
making a list, right?
But yeah, who to watch out for?
Who
Los
was the last
Vikingos,
one that I ran into
Chocolate
that was
Mattress.
dirty? CTU. He was a Canadian flag. He was running on that one too. And I posted a couple shorts on him being greasy, and I kind of rubbed him out in one of them too, and whatever. But the comments, most of the people in the comments are saying, "Oh yeah, I've raced this guy. He's dirty." But he's one of those fast guys. Like if he raced clean, he'd be a great racer.
Yeah, and it leads me to think that it's someone that's got to be world level because I don't know if you've seen Dead Eye Del Boy. He done a video on Kimmy. Um,
Yeah, he's done a couple on him, I
yeah,
think.
I mean he gets quite unfortunate with Kimmy and a couple others, but this particular video is saying about how they use the counter steering assistance.
I saw that too.
So if this person's using counter steer, knocking everyone off, and still can catch up if they get taken out, I mean you've got to be a really good level to do that.
Yeah, you got to be quick because even if you get taken out and you're behind and you have counter steer assist on, I can't drive with it on very fast.
I
So you'd
can.
have to be able to drive. Can you? I can't do it
Do you
at
know what
all. It
this?
just manipulates everything so bad.
I
I
don't
don't
know
like
what it
it.
is, and it might have just been that one race. But do you remember we did? I can't remember what car it was. It was like the Escudo or something similar at Willow Springs a few weeks back.
For a daily?
think it was a daily, yeah.
Is it? I think yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I remember that one. Yeah.
And I got a really good lap time. My lap time was quicker with the counter steering on than with it
Really?
off.
Eh?
And I spent
Huh.
hours. I tried to get into the top 500, um, and I spent hours and hours trying to get a decent time. And I did probably about 70 laps with it on and about 70 with it off. And I was quicker with
Ooh,
it on.
that's a stint.
I was literally about 3 or 4 days trying to beat a set time. I had to beat
Get
it.
up there, eh?
Yeah. And then I kind of just
Yeah,
like,
see, usually I'll go into as I got to practice for manufacturers, but the only thing is manufacturers on Saturday now, that's when those GTC World Cup races
yeah.
are. And my time slots, because I'm in top split, we only get the 3 slots. I don't know if lower splits get more slots or not. I thought something changed, but
I
we
think they
only
do.
get the 3 slots. They
I
get more
can't remember.
slots?
I can't remember who it was. Was it Key saying this the other day? It might not be him, but I
I
think
know
it pretty
Key
sure
was
it was
complaining about it a bit.
because they only get. It might have been on Twitter that they get the 3 slots, and someone said I think they think it's to do with if you got 3 slots and you got all these fast guys, you can get all
Yeah,
the
they want to
fast
put them
guys.
together. Well, that's the thing. That's what I noticed when they had it spread out because with having kids and my time frame, it was easier for me to jump in on the morning ones.
Yeah,
But the morning top split races were they didn't have any of the top split guys, and it was not until the afternoon. And now with these races starting, the 2 hour enduro starts at 4 o'clock my time, ends at 6, and wind down time or whatever after. The first manufacturers race on Saturday starts at 4 o'clock.
blimey.
So it's a 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock is the second one. So I have one chance at doing it or whatever.
So
But
that would be what 2 a.m. my time. So
yeah,
we're
it's
we're
it's
we're
gonna
on
be a
we're on video on
I've had
demand
some
over here.
people from Germany and a few places stay up and watch all those enduros with me. There's a German Kiwi.
Blimey.
He hangs out. He's like, "Oh, I was wanting to go to bed," and it ends up being a heated race. And he's like, "Oh, it's 4 in the morning. I gotta go to
I couldn't do
bed."
that. I mean, I love you guys, but I'm not staying up till 2 in the morning.
That's how I go
Um,
to sleep, man. I'll put on a stream or something like that, or anything with Gran Turismo. And I don't know what it is, man. My eyes start going cross-eyed, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. That's
uh,
some racing right there. I haven't played F1, I think, since 2021. And I had it on my G29, and it sounded like it was going to crater that wheelbase. So I was
it
just like,
was
I never played it again.
you had the 29, so you know what the issues were with that, like the rattling.
Well, the thing is, I always said it is still best bang for your buck for a wheel, for sure. And I've always said that if you figure out how to drive it and you're driving smooth, it's quiet. As soon as you start fighting that wheel, it just sounds like it's
It
gonna like
just
clack 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 clack.
the
It's
worst thing
so
is,
bad.
so you're in the basement, so you probably wouldn't have this issue as much. But my man cave is upstairs, and
Oh,
in the UK, well, I mean, I'm not sure about Canada, but in America, all the houses are made out of wood anyway, so it'd probably be a similar problem. But we don't have carpets; we've got laminate flooring. And when you put your wheel stand on the laminate flooring with a G29, she's downstairs watching TV, and it feels like someone's just drilling. It's like I'm upstairs with my drill trying to make a hole in the wall.
that's awesome. Yeah, where my rig was upstairs, I had it in the little bonus TV room, but I'd be sitting like this and I could look right that way. And there's my one kid's bedroom and the other one there. So it's when I was racing at night, of course, everything's going through the headset. All they hear
Yeah,
is the click clicks from the wheel and all that. And that G29, click, clack, 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 click, clack, click,
it was a
clack.
good a good excuse to get a Fanatec though, because I was like, look, I can get this direct drive thing, and it doesn't make that rattling
I
noise.
want one. I want
Um,
a direct drive so bad.
and then I got the Gran Turismo set, no, with a round wheel, and I don't use that wheel. I had to get the McLaren GT3 rim.
It's another wheel I
Like
want to. I think if I'm going to order the base, that's the wheel I'm going to get with it too.
you have to get it. It's honestly the only wheel I use in any game, but it's got a
Well, this
problem.
wheel that I got is that it's the V2.5 Formula One.
Yeah,
This one I was kind of forced to buy it because the wheel that came with my CSL Elite base, the little joystick on it,
yeah,
completely died on it and just stopped on right.
yeah.
So anytime you plugged in or tried to do anything, it would just go right. And I found this one online. A guy was selling it in the city because to get anything Fanatec to Canada is a pain in the
Oh,
ass.
it's a pain
It
to get
takes
it into Europe.
forever and it is expensive. Even just for this CSL Elite base with the pedals and the load cell after taxes and everything, it was like $1,500 or Canadian. It
Oh,
was insane.
I mean, I don't know how I managed to blag it, but with the McLaren rim, it's so good. Especially when you get your headphones on, you cannot hear anything. But if you take your headphones off and you're changing gears, all you hear is knock, knock,
Yeah,
knock.
that magnetic shifter sound is
It,
nice. I do like that.
no, this one is loud.
Well, that one, oh, it's loud. Well, that one's got the whole lever across the back,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Yeah, that's right.
but it's good because if you're trying to drive one-handed, when you get to really sharp turns,
You can click it
you
out. Yeah.
can't get my right hand to go to change the gear up, so I can just use my left hand and just press out.
I never even thought about that actually, because that's my biggest thing is going full lock like that. Because I've had bones taken out
Yeah,
of my thumbs in the last little while. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is when I start to go over and bend my wrist that way. That's when I start to get some pain and things like that. But I was thinking about that one because it's chunkier and it's a
yeah,
little bit fatter for your hands to hold on to too. Like these Formula wheels are pretty
yeah.
slim.
It's a lot wider than the standard one that comes with it. I think it's about 2 centimeters wider. Um,
Okay.
but if you do get it, one thing I will recommend is try and get the metal quick release.
100%. That's why to my buddy Guletsky, he's just picked up the DD Pro and he wanted to do the booster pack or whatever on
Yeah,
it. And I was like, dude, don't do that unless you get that metal quick release. Otherwise, you will shred your machine. But
even
everybody I've
now,
talked to too said that booster pack isn't really worth it.
I wouldn't get it. I think I've got the 5 Newton meter. I don't have the load
More
cell
than
either.
enough, eh?
Um, I think coming from
Load
the
cell
G29,
is key.
coming from the
Yeah,
G29.
that's huge, huge
I
upgrade.
mean,
Even this CSL is not direct driving. Going from the G29 was like, holy crap.
I've nearly snapped my wrist a couple of times using the 5 Newton meters. I am thinking a lot about the load cell, but because you need to put so much pressure on, I haven't got a full rig yet.
Mm,
My wheelbase isn't connected to the chair,
gotcha,
so
gotcha.
getting that pressure on just wouldn't work at the moment. So
Mhm.
that's going to have to
Yeah, I
wait.
haven't got a fancy rig either. I built my rig actually. There's if you have the tools and the know-how to build out of wood or whatever, it actually makes a pretty slick rig, but it's meant for the G29, but
Yeah,
you can modify it for pretty much anything. It's Ricmotech.
yeah.
They're DIY ones. They send you for I think it was $40. They send you the templates and
Yeah,
paper. You just stick them on the wood, cut them out,
I've
and
seen them on.
solid.
Do they have a YouTube channel? Because I saw someone.
Yeah, this was years. I built this rig 10 years ago, and it's still
Yeah,
going strong.
but Rick Motech, that rings a bell. I think I saw a video
Yeah,
on
they've been
YouTube.
around for quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. I have a video somewhere in my thing where I was doing a test stream for audio, and you could see me just on the camera, like
Y-
hating life, clicking things, and all of a sudden I click something and I got sound in my headset. You can see me just like, oh, I figured it out.
You've been having a couple of issues in the last couple of days, haven't you? I've watched.
Yeah, I have.
Was
It's
it?
because it's all self-induced though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I every time if I want to get on with the old team or whatever, I have to unplug the capture card or whatever,
Yeah.
hook the HDMI up to the TV regular, and then put the old headset Bluetooth thing in
Yeah.
the back. And that last one, I just left it in there. So every time when I went to stream and I clicked on the game, I lost all sound. I was like, what the
Oh,
heck is going on here? So I started clicking everything, right? And then I
I
was like,
can,
oh, wait.
I can honestly relate to that. Like even yesterday when I went to stream, like I was like, I need half an hour just to make sure everything's working about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because a few
I'm
weeks
a
ago,
little more, let my stream help me out.
because a few weeks ago I was like, I want to do a video, and I think I mentioned this when I was talking to Sparks. I wanted to do a video. I need to get set up. I go in, press record. I'm like, why is it not? Why can't I hear my sound? I can't hear my gameplay. What's going on? So I'm like, I had to resend my sound card back to Amazon, saying it wasn't working. Ordered
Oh, I
another
remember
one.
you talking about this. Yeah.
Ordered another one. Came through. Didn't work. So I'm like, all right, I have
Jeez.
to get another one exactly the same as the first one I had. I got it, and I was like, still doesn't work. And it was all to do with a little setting in Windows.
It's all that's what I did in that one video is like I was wondering what this would do. Click. I'm like, you gotta be it was like a security
Yeah.
setting or something stupid like that. It wasn't letting it go
So hopefully Amazon won't notice I've just sent something back when it was working.
through. I doubt they test anything.
Just I was lucky. They're pretty good. I'll be honest with Amazon. I sent a message to them, and within 20 minutes they were like, "Yeah, well, here's your dispatch note. Just take it to the post office. As soon as they scan it, we'll send you your refund." I was like, "What? That easy?" Um,
Well, that's why they make billions all the time, right?
Well, yeah, just
It's
accept
crazy.
everything back. But yeah, so but yeah, anything that you want to talk about in terms of what you're doing, your channel, like just sell
I'm
yourself.
just trying to get more consistent with my
Yeah,
streaming. That's what I'm trying to do. Get on there more regular time. To real life kind of gets in the way of that every once in a while, right? When
yeah.
I got the kids, it's
It's what we
when
all
I
like, though,
can.
isn't it?
And you know what? I'm beginning to learn that the more you just are yourself, that's what people want to see. They
Like,
don't want to see somebody acting in front of the camera and being like that. Just be yourself. Go with it. If you act like an idiot, use that as your superpower.
do you know
You
that's
know what I mean?
I always look at stuff like that. Like when I found Slipstream, I was like, this guy's faffing around with these bloody cameras. He just looked like this guy, and I think for him it's more. Hold on, he's a Kiwi, but he's in Poland. Like that, I couldn't like get my head around because I know a lot of Polish people. Uh,
No, that shocked me a little bit too when he said that. I was like, wait, really? I
I
was
was
like,
like,
why Poland?
Why would a Kiwi move to Poland? Like you got really hot weather, and you go to Poland, which is freezing cold. Um,
Yeah, that's true. My
um,
sister's family, husband's family's from Poland, so
yeah,
that's my
that's your
Poland
link.
connection with
Yeah.
Slipstream there.
And then with Dead Eye Delboy, I mean, he's I mean, you probably hate this, but he's probably is my favorite streamer at the moment or YouTuber. But you know when you find something that you're like, I've got to watch this person, and
Hmm.
it's when he's streaming and he's like, it's got to be really, really.
Because of his
I
kids,
was
yeah,
like,
I've seen
hold
that.
on,
I'm sorry.
hold on. Now I have to watch this. Why do you have to be really quiet? Um,
Right? That's
so
the kids, man. That's the
so
kids.
it's little things like that. You know, you find a connection. Like James Everett, the fact that he's British and he's a soccer coach in America. I'm like, that was me. That was me. I was a soccer coach in America. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I was out in Philly. So I used to do soccer coaching. As
Oh,
they say,
okay.
as
I
you
used to
guys
play
say.
a lot of soccer in my younger days. Soccer, yeah, not football here.
Well, you Canadians are pretty good at it now, ain't you? You made the World Cup.
The Canadian team is pretty good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't followed it in a long time. I don't even follow hockey. I'm terrible. I'm not a true Canadian, even though I'm a fifth generation Edmontonian.
So
But I don't do hockey, and all I do is motorsports now. That's
that's
my
only
jam.
motorsports. So like Canada, like I do associate Canada with ice hockey, even though I don't
I
know.
played it all. I played lots
Yeah,
of hockey in my younger days. Played lots of. I actually played with Connor McDavid when I was growing up.
no idea who he is. I mean,
He's a pretty fancy Oiler hockey player. He's like the new big guy or whatever. But
the Oilers is that the team? Is that the team in where you're
that's
from?
our team. Yeah. See, we our claim to fame with the Edmonton Oilers. I think it was somebody's going to butcher me for this. I think it's 86 or maybe 85, 87, and 89. Oh, we won
Yeah,
3 Stanley Cups with Wayne Gretzky and all those guys. You know Wayne Gretzky.
I know, I've heard Wayne Gretzky.
That's when he was in Edmonton here or whatever. But we've been struggling ever since.
Just,
But this year, apparently, from what the radio has been saying, that the Oilers are looking real good this year. We have a chance. So
I'm
who
just
knows?
googling
I'll jump on the bandwagon when it's time. But
because I'm into you probably didn't see my stream, but I was talking about wrestling, um, like professional wrestling yesterday, and yeah. So one of my favorite wrestlers is Chris Jericho, who everyone probably and he's a
I
Canadian,
know him.
right? But I never knew his dad was actually a really famous hockey player, Ted
Actually,
Irvine.
I didn't know that either. Actually,
So Ted Irvine is his dad.
easy.
So
Huh.
that's
I had a wrestling connection. I had a buddy that was big into wrestling in high school. You know the Hart brothers, right?
I mean, who
In
doesn't
wrestling, he actually trained with their dad in
in the
their
dungeon?
basement
What was his name?
in the dungeon. Brett Pollock was his name. He never went. He just did wrestling through. I think it was U of A. He was wrestling,
Yeah,
but he never did anything professional like that. But yeah, he was. He knew that group,
yeah. So I kind
the
of learned
Hart
a bit
family.
about the Canadian culture. I know about is the Canadians. Like you name a Canadian wrestler, I probably know who he is. Um, but yeah,
I don't
Chris
think there's
Jericho.
that many Canadian wrestlers, are there? I don't
Oh,
know.
there's
My
loads of
buddy
them.
way back used to watch wrestling lots. I could never get into it.
It's a very niche thing. Like
100%.
to me, it's like I watched it when I was growing up, like most kids probably.
Mhm.
Um, and then over the years, I'm like, I watch it for the storylines, and people say, "Oh, it's fake. It's fake fighting." I'm like, it's not fake fighting. I'll have this debate with anyone about it. It's not fake
Man,
fighting.
those dudes get hurt, man.
I
There's
mean,
no joke
that's
that they
real.
punish themselves.
Um, that is real. Now, what I will say is it's scripted, so
Choreographed, but they're still hurting
premeditated.
each other.
So they're still getting hit around the head with a steel chair, um, and falling 20 feet off a cage onto a table.
Yeah.
But it's scripted. Um, but yeah, the Canadians is what I know. Like Jericho. You probably might have heard some. Like the Hearts. The whole family, which is probably about 50 million of them. Um, you've probably heard of Christian Cage. Um,
That one sounds familiar. Yeah.
yeah. Who else is there? That I've watched them all the time, and I just forget about them. I forget the names when you're thinking about it, but yeah, it's quite a
Of
few.
course, right?
Favorite
I'm
move,
terrible at names.
favorite wrestling move. One of them is the Canadian Destroyer, and that's if anyone wants to check that out, it's
I'm
one hell of a move.
gonna
So
have to. I'm gonna have to Google that one after.
you have to watch and you got it's a Canadian wrestler called Petey Williams. He's the master of the Canadian Destroyer. Um, I mean, how someone will do that.
Does he
Uh,
destroy Canadians with it, or is he the Canadian
oh, he
destroyer?
is the Canadian. He is the Canadian,
Okay, all right.
and he destroys people with it. Yeah, but it's one hell of a move. It's definitely one for people to watch. But let's move away from wrestling because I could go on all night. And actually, going back onto the link with that, there is another podcast called Unrestricted, um, and it is a wrestling podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
um, yeah. So
So do you do any racing outside of Gran Turismo?
I started going into so I played Gran Turismo when GT Sport came out.
Mhm.
Well, I did play it back in the. I never had a PlayStation when I was younger, but I would used to go to my friend's house
Neither.
and they'd have a PlayStation, and I'm like,
Same as me, man.
I'm good at this. I'll beat them every time. Like, I'll drive in third person view. I think it was Gran Turismo 1 at the time, and I'll beat them every time. I'm like, I'm good at this, but I didn't have a PlayStation. Um, so then I got an Xbox when I started working, and played Forza.
Mhm.
And I'm a
That
big
was when there was a big lull in Gran Turismo for a while
yeah.
there. I did the same thing.
So I played Forza, Motorsport, um, Toka 2. That's a good game.
I don't know if I played that one.
Um, and then I got into Project Cars 2,
Yeah, I
which
played that one for
that one
sure.
was that
That
one
was
was
a
good.
tough game to play on controller.
Yeah, that was
I think I
really
got
really
to
good.
the Bach Mono or something like that.
Yeah,
There was one track with some hill and I
yeah.
couldn't.
And I was properly excited for Project Cars 3 to come out. I was like, this is gonna be the best racing simulator ever on console. And then they came out with like Grid Legends, whatever it was, just dubbed something else. I'm like, they've screwed this game up.
Mhm.
Got bought out by EA
Yeah,
Sports. Um,
that's right. They did.
and at the same time, I was racing the Formula One games on controller
Mhm.
until I was in
It's
London.
hard, man.
It was hard. Actually, on my channel that I use, I don't upload to. I've actually got some videos from like 2017 of me trying to learn how to drive it without traction control. So I might one day
So
try.
hard.
It was
I
impossible for
couldn't
me.
even drive with the controller if I wanted to anymore.
Uh,
Like when that big lull in Gran Turismo was going on, that's when I went over to Call of Duty for a while, and Modern Warfare 2. That's when I started playing that quite a bit.
I played Cold War.
But see, I never got into that one. It was Modern War. I was the idiot running around with the diamond shotguns and light machine guns. It's
I
terrible. Now I get my ass kicked when I go on that.
but I
Don't
only
even
used to
look at it
play it in.
anymore.
I only used to play it in one map. I only used to play Nuketown. That's the only one I knew. And I
Yeah.
knew where to hide out. I knew where to camp and just pick people out.
In
Um,
that one spot. Yeah, I had the same thing with Gran Turismo 1 though. I never had a PlayStation. I had a Nintendo. That was the only thing I had, but I'd never bought my own console until it was PlayStation 2. That's when I bought my first console, but same thing. My buddy's brother, older brother, brought it home, brought the PlayStation with Gran Turismo. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, goosebumps the whole night.
it
I'm
was
like, I love
different.
this game. And every time I went over there, I was like, we got to play, we got to play. It got so bad that my buddy started to hide the game. He's like, no, my brother took it to his friend's house. We can't play.
Uh,
And it's like, oh, he wanted to play Tony Hawk Skater.
that was a good game actually.
Was a good game. I sucked at
Yeah,
that one though.
I downloaded it about 3 4 months ago. They gave it out, and they play one of the free games on the PlayStation. Um,
I didn't even look at those. I gotta start looking at those
so it was
things.
Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered.
Yeah,
So
see,
I'm like,
those were the good ones.
I'm downloading that. That's going to look pretty good. I haven't played it yet, but I downloaded it. I think I got Tekken or Street Fighter or something like that they gave for free a few
Oh,
months back.
Street Fighter. That's how my buddy got his name, Turbo Thumbs, from that game.
Turbo Thumbs.
Nobody could mash buttons faster than that kid.
Well, but can you play the Olympic game that used to come out on the Sega? The one where you had to literally press two buttons like that.
Yeah, I remember playing that. There was biking in that one. Like, wasn't there biking? And yeah, I vaguely remember that game. I think, yeah, I do
We've got a
remember that.
So I live in Manchester, and we've got a bar called NQ64 in town, and it's like an old school arcade. So you go in,
Nice.
it's got neon lights everywhere. You buy your tokens at the bar with your alcohol, and then you've got like probably about 40 to 50 classic arcade machines. So from Pac-Man to Space Invaders.
Yeah, we got a place like that here. Beercade is what they
Yeah,
call it here.
and then they got the Nintendo 64s, the PlayStations, the whole lot,
Sweet.
everything there. And I just go in and play Daytona.
Daytona. Oh, it's such a good game.
Yeah,
Such a good game. You could be 2 laps down and still win that
yeah,
game. Yeah,
just
that was a good
classics.
one. That is a good go-to.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's kind of where it started, and then I can't remember when it was. I think it's just about 2017. Um, the wife wanted to go shopping, so we went to like this big mall that they opened up in London, called Westfield, and at the top there was a Mercedes showroom. I'm like, I don't really go into. I was intrigued. Why is there a showroom, Mercedes showroom, in the top floor of a shopping centre?
That's odd.
And I was walking past, like, just want to check out, curiosity, and I was looking at the screen, and they had this TV in the front of a Formula One car. I was like, hold on, what's going on here?
Hold up.
And it was showing like the gameplay from F1 2015 when it came out on the PlayStation 4. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've definitely got to go check it out. So as soon as I got closer, I looked inside and I'm like, that's not the front of a Formula One car. That is a Formula One car. So it was the 2012 Mercedes Formula One car. The
Really, the
one
real
Mike,
deal, eh?
the one Michael Schumacher drove. I went in. I was like,
Oh
I want
wow.
to take a picture of this car. I just got to. Then I get inside the actual showroom, and the TV that would have the F1 2015 was connected to the car.
So is there
So
sim then?
the
Oh
Formula One car
damn.
was converted into a sim with force
So
feedback.
cool.
So I was like,
So
I've got
cool.
to get a go on this now. So I went in. I sat in this Formula One Mercedes that Michael Schumacher drove um, with a force feedback wheel and pedals and playing F1
That's a
2015.
big deal back then. That's a big deal back then.
That
And to
was
sit in that kind of a car, wow. Just to sit
um,
in that car.
I'll try to put some pictures up, and then the background looked like it was a Mercedes garage. Um, so you got me sitting in this Formula One car that probably Michael Schumacher sat on and peed on, um, with no
That's
helmet,
cool.
playing F1
He is one
2015.
of my favorites, that's for sure.
I used to hate him.
That is for sure.
I used to
See,
hate
I
him.
grew up with him. I loved him. I
Uh,
loved him. I loved he had that attitude where it's just like, I'm the best. I'm going to prove it. You know what I mean? But he pulled some greasy moves too.
so you're probably the
He
same age
definitely
as me.
did.
I'm guessing you're
I'm
probably
42.
right. Okay, so you're a little bit older than me. So I'm gonna say you're a little bit older. We're probably about the same age. Like everyone that plays Gran Turismo, isn't it? We're all about
We're
the
all
same age.
around the same age.
Yeah, we're all 35 to 45. Um, I grew up on Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me,
See, I
like there's no
he
one.
was, but I remember for us, see you growing up in Europe, you were able to see those races on TV way
Yeah,
easier than we were at that time. Like for me, it was if I was lucky and I got home at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, coming home late on
yeah,
the weekend or something, and you turn the TV on. Oh, sweet, Formula One's on,
yeah,
right? But there was none of that recording or any of that
yeah.
stuff.
See, for me, it was a bit more of a religion, Formula One, because being born in Portugal, Senna was Brazilian. You're like, we don't have any racing drivers, so
100%.
we're going to latch onto
Yeah,
any Brazilian that does good. We're going to latch onto it.
100%.
And like it was the thing, me and my dad, we would watch Formula One and we would watch Ayrton Senna. That's who I wanted to watch. Um, and then this young bloke turns up, like in '93 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Um,
right around there.
yeah, and starts beating Ayrton Senna. I'm like, just
Who
f
is
off.
this guy?
Just
Who is this
who is
guy?
this guy? Like,
Young
does he
blood.
not know Ayrton Senna is God? Um,
That is
and
one of the craziest things in that Senna crash where he passes, how
and
Michael Schumacher is the next to come through. It's like the
he's
passing of the torch almost.
yeah,
Is wild.
and that
It
stuck with
just
me.
gives
I'm
me
like,
chills thinking about that.
yeah, like Senna crashes, Schumacher's right behind, and was it Damon Hill behind that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and you're thinking
It's one of
that's
those things, is that big change in life right there in that
yeah.
one moment is unreal.
I mean, it would. It's annoying that it happened because can you just imagine Senna versus Schumacher, like
The
the whole
battles,
season?
the broken cars, it could
Uh,
have been good.
I mean, we've
It
got
would
it
have been
now,
really
Verstappen
good.
versus Hamilton, don't we? But
We do.
I hate Hamilton now. I hate him. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
he's kind of a little prima donna now. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's got too much money. He's got too much money.
I remember
He has
2000s.
nobody telling him no. That's what he needs. He needs some people to tell him no.
I remember 2007, and that car right behind you. That's Hamilton, isn't it? Um,
Yeah, my
yeah.
mom painted that
Oh,
actually.
did she?
Slide that over. Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah. There was actually a printout, like a print or whatever I got
Yeah,
at the Champ Car races when they came here. And my mom was getting into painting. I was like, "You want something to
yeah,
paint?" I was like, "Paint me that." And it took her like 4 months to do it, but
yeah.
that's my favorite piece of art in this house
I
for
mean,
sure.
that's amazing.
But that, yeah, that's Hamilton with Massa right behind him, I believe.
2008.
It would have been
It,
close to that
it looks
time,
it.
yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like it, and it looks like the MP4 24. No,
Let me
28.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. It might be on the back of the paper. I can't
yeah.
remember the
But I
picture.
remember 2007. Like I'm a McLaren fan. Like to me, McLaren is like the only team I support, which sucks right now.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, they're not doing so well, are they?
no, but I think it goes back to Senna, isn't it? He was McLaren. Then you got the Hackinens, and then you know you
Well,
can
I
only
got
just
the little die-cast McLaren hacking in the F1 car
yeah.
upstairs.
And he was
Definitely
just a
got that.
legend. And then you had Raikkonen racing for McLaren. I was like, this guy's he's good. Um,
Oh, I
and this
love
young,
Raikkonen. He's one of my favorites.
and then Hamilton came along. I'm like, yeah, look, he's about the same age as me. That's how
Mhm.
old I am. I'm the same age as Hamilton. Same age as me. He's from kind of the same area I'm from, like from the posh bits, but we'll give him that. Um, and he's racing for my local team, which where I grew up, McLaren is the
Oh,
local
you
team.
got to.
I was like,
If you
this is
don't, you're in
brilliant.
trouble.
And 2007, when Timo Glock had his tire issues, I was like, Massa's won it. I hate Ferrari. Massa's just won it, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, we're having family dinner, and I'm like getting off my chair, watching the TV, and like, come on, come on, come on. And then it got to that. That was the first time I saw Hamilton, like massive fan, and then
The guy can drive for sure. There's no
yeah,
doubt about that. He can drive, but he is struggle bus right now these last 2 years.
Abu Dhabi. It really
That was
showed
hard
how
to watch.
it wasn't. It was
When he lost the championship over that,
yeah, like
that
this is
was
how
hard for
much
me to watch that one. That was a bad call, I think.
I loved it. I love the
It was
drama.
for TV. It
I
was for
love the drama.
exactly. It was for TV, but if they went for the rules like that through the rest of the season, that was,
Yeah. But
I don't
when it
know. They
happened, I
made
was
their
like,
call though.
I'm not a Red Bull fan because I do like Max Verstappen. I've got to admit it. But as soon as I saw Verstappen overtaking Hamilton, it was like 2007 again. Except I was cheering for the other guy. So not the guy I was cheering for originally. It's now the other guy.
Right?
Um,
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. But yeah, I don't know.
but yeah,
It's
so
so who's your favorite driver this year then? I'm rooting for Alonso. I'm old school, man. I want Alonso to beat all these young bucks.
do you know? I used to hate. This is the thing, right? I go through phases. So do you remember when I used to love Hamilton? I used to hate Alonso.
Well, he was the protagonist in all of
Yeah,
them. He was the guy that nobody wanted, or the antagonist, sorry.
and think when Alonso took his break and he went off to do Indy 500,
Mhm.
I started gaining more respect for him. I'm thinking this
He
guy's
did
actually a
so
driver.
much. Dakar, Indy, all that stuff. He was trying
Yeah,
to do, was it
he's
what do
the
they
Triple
call it?
Crown.
The Triple Crown, yeah.
Yeah, so he won the Le Mans and he went to Indy. I mean, he should have won Indy, shouldn't he? Um,
Yeah.
thank you, Honda. Honda, thank you very much. Uh, um,
No, he could drive. There's no doubt about that. He could seem to jump in anything and just go on pace.
he's a proper Gran Turismo driver, isn't he?
Right. That's the way to do it. That's what I like about Gran Turismo. That's what I love about Nations
Yeah,
is the switching of cars all the time.
yeah,
And the track, so you could just jump in because that's what I'm really good at. Every time at the local go-kart track here, they used to be able to change the track around, and they had these pro speed events every month. And usually they never changed the track before
yeah,
them, but a couple of them they changed it the night before and didn't tell anybody. So you come in the next day expecting the same track, and you got to learn a whole new track again
yeah,
like that. That's where I came in, and I was like, boom, on point right away. Let's go.
yeah,
I should have some footage coming up. I got a GoPro lined up, so I'm gonna the 26th of this month, they're doing another pro speed event here, and they got a whole new track where it's 3 stories, 2 stories. So you go up down hills or
yeah,
whatever, but they're introducing the little kids track into it. So they call it the super track.
yeah.
So I'm going to videotape those and hopefully I'll be able to get
Oh,
some
that would be good to
footage
watch
of
that.
that up. Yeah, it should be fun. I've been trying forever to get footage of it. And the last one they did it, but they put the GoPro on the bumper of the
Yeah.
cart on one side and the
Well, you
angle is
can't.
just all off and
Yeah, you
stuff.
can't
So
do that.
I'm gonna either put it like right on my forehead or right on my chest or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I've missed a trick because I've driven a single seater race car around Donington, and I'd
See,
never.
you guys got so many more racetracks around you guys.
Oh, do you know what?
We got one.
Donington is one of the tracks that I was like, I would have preferred to do Silverstone, but when you go do an experience at Silverstone, you don't really get to do the Formula One, the proper track.
Oh, you won't do the
You,
full GP. No.
what you don't. I don't think you even think you get on the main track. It's just at
Oh, really?
Silverstone, yeah. But
Okay.
Donington was on the full track. They're not the international, the national version, which hasn't got the long hairpin.
Arlington. I think I remember playing that one. That's the one on the full track where there's a section of the where there's a hairpin and you come
Yeah,
back up and double back up to the start. Yeah, okay, I know
yeah.
which one
So
you're talking about there.
you don't get to drive that section, but you get to drive the whole other track. And I've actually got a
Okay.
picture here. I don't know
Oh,
if you
that's
can
cool.
see.
See, I've always wanted to do something like that, but for me to
Um,
do it, I got to go to the States or Montreal, and it's mega bucks. It's
yeah.
like 5 grand just to go
Oh,
do that.
blimey, that's a lot. So that was about
Yeah, it's
£200
oh
for
man, if
for
I'd be
20
doing that
minutes.
every weekend.
For 20 minutes. But if I did it in like an Aston or a Ferrari normal road car, you get 2 laps. And if you do it in that, you get 20 minutes.
I would way rather be in that
So
thing
I'd
than
rather do that.
an 8 car, 100%.
And that thing, you look at it and it's like a 1.1 engine or not
Yeah,
even that. And I was overtaking a 911
power to
at
weight
half
ratio is
throttle.
crazy still.
At half
Yeah,
throttle.
I wanted to do that so bad. I
Yeah.
want to get in one of those. I know I could drive it. I don't know if my hands could keep up with it anymore because like go karting is a little bit stiff,
Yeah.
but I find as soon as I'm behind the wheel, I don't feel any pain anymore. It's when I
Go
get out
karting's
after that's
harder.
when I notice it.
I found go karting was
I'm
a lot
quick in
harder
the
than
go
that.
kart. I've held the records at this speeders place for over a decade now.
I mean, I need to go there.
Every track that's come
Right.
up, I've beaten everybody.
You need to post a link.
I say that to everybody. I say that to everybody when they come to speeders. I'm like, nobody's beating me. Nobody
You need
does.
to post a link, and we need to get everyone who's going to go to Canada in the next year to
Mhm.
go there
Come to
and just
speeders. At one point, they have a location in Calgary. It's a city 3 hours away from us, and they have another location in Vancouver. And I went down to Calgary for something. I went in there and I set the lap time there, and it held that month. And I never went back, and I never did get the triple crown and have Vancouver,
oh, you need to do
and,
it again, don't you?
Calgary, and Edmonton.
So you're a bit of a proper racer then, ain't you? You're not just like us. You're not just a YouTuber. You do proper like
No,
go karting
I do
races.
the go kart thing. I don't do it as much anymore, just because it was a very expensive habit for a while.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was spending probably like 300 plus a week doing it. Buy 10 races, go and do it. But it was fun though. It's better than going out and doing crack and heroin or
Well,
whatever, right?
exactly. So
It's
which
another
one do
kind
you
of
rather
drug,
do?
right?
You'd rather
I
do
had
that.
fun doing it though. It's one of those things that when I'm behind the wheel like that, you don't think about anything. It's just you're driving. As soon as you
Yeah,
start thinking about stuff, that's when you're going slower. That's my thing. But I haven't done any real racing in real cars or anything
yeah.
like that. I do. I'm building a car right now.
I think did you have
Building an
something on
engine
your
up.
YouTube?
That's it.
I think did you not put anything on your YouTube about that? Can't remember if
I
what,
posted something about the wheel. I was
yeah,
teaching
that's
the
it.
kids how to put the wheels and do brake check and stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
but that's the daily. I got a '03 Jetta Wagon 1.8T that put way too much money into the engine. I've been waiting for head studs for a year.
So your
They should be
Jettas,
on their way now. So
we don't
I
really
love
get
my
Jettas over
Volkswagens,
here.
Audis. What do they call? Well, in
We
Mexico
used to
they call
call
them
them.
the Bora.
We had a Bora.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't sound as good, does it? You get a
No, it
Jetta.
doesn't.
It's like a Jet
No, I got
R, and we get a Bora.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how they do that, eh? But I got the wagons though. I'm all about the wagon life.
Is that
So
what
I'm
you're
waiting
into?
on that. Hopefully when that thing's done though, it's the engine right now as it sits, once it's bolts together and everything, it's built for 600 horsepower.
Blimey. So that thing's gonna be
But
a
well, I want it to run like 350, 400.
yeah,
That's all I want. Anything more than that front wheel drive is useless.
yeah. But yeah, so you're a bit of a car guy. You love your
Yeah,
Legos, you love your real cars, your
yeah,
virtual
definitely a
ones.
car guy.
Yeah.
I got model cars everywhere around here. Since I moved down here, I got nowhere to display everything. I got a whole basket of model cars. I got these things every time I go to. We have the store called Canadian Tire. They have these little cars. See, I even
Oh
found the
yeah.
Gazoo Toyota Supra.
That's the
They're
one we were
10
using.
bucks. But check this out. They wind up.
Oh, even better. So which one's
And
faster?
I've got
That one? Is
my
it
kids race them all the time. They don't race mine. They got their owns, but they have all sorts of Porsches, Lamborghinis, McLarens, like you name it, they got it. I've got so many of them.
get the
I
BOP
think
on
I've
it?
got 70 of them. Right? Well, that's what Tidgeny was saying. I was watching a video with Tidgeny. I was saying it on the stream yesterday. He's saying every time this time of year, Toyota gets a bump up for the main season. Through the
Yeah.
winter, Toyota gets nerfed. And then when it comes to the main season, because of the Gazoo deal, they do a little and turn it up a bit.
We'll probably get a Mercedes powered up soon because of the Hamilton deal.
Yeah. Well, they've had Hamilton for a while. Did they do another deal with them?
I think he still
Because
has it
he.
on his helmet or on his
Oh,
racing
really?
caps. He still has Gran Turismo on there.
Oh.
There was actually an
Oh, okay. I
article.
didn't notice that.
As much as I don't like him, I still like following him, and I say I don't like him.
Yeah, you got it right.
Everyone does, don't they? But he was saying that around Christmas he was racing on Gran Turismo,
I saw this.
and some guy.
Somebody named his name or something.
So
Took him
he's
out.
racing against someone who's claiming to be LH44,
Yeah.
crashing into him, and he'd not realised this Lewis Hamilton.
Right. Makes you wonder. Hey, that's why I've always wanted to kind of get into iRacing to see if I could get up to the higher levels of that and race some of these like
Yeah,
true pro guys to see if I could actually keep up. I think I could do well on the pro level.
I think you could. I mean, I
I think I
wouldn't.
get up there. It'd take a lot of practice, but
Yeah.
jumping back and forth between Gran Turismo, it'd be devotion. It'd be by Gran Turismo,
You would
all
have
iRacing at that point.
you would have an advantage because Max Verstappen, he does all these iRacing, and he was saying that he struggles to get up to pace when he goes onto the sim versus real life. So he can
Hmm.
eventually get
That's
there,
my thing.
but he
My
can.
thing, I'm quicker in real life than I am in a sim for sure.
Yeah,
I don't have that butt feel. That's huge for me. It's like, what is that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. I just forgot the name of it with Hunt. What was that movie?
James Hunt versus
Charles.
Lauda.
Yeah, David Hunt
Yeah,
Lauda, that one where Lauda's driving around. He's like, "Oh, your brakes are this and that." Like, I get so much out of the butt feel
yeah,
from a car. I can feel everything in the sim. It's all through the wheel, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, it's a whole different sensory thing, isn't it? Because like if you're in the real car, your whole body is reacting to what's going on. You've got the G forces. I mean, you're
Yeah.
sitting on a static chair, and all you have is something coming through your hands.
Yeah.
Try that's the only feel you have.
Although with that new update, though, whatever they did with that update with the physics, you can feel a lot more through that wheel now with what your front tires are doing. You could
Mm.
feel if you get in on the brakes and turn, you get that dead spot in your wheel, and you kind
I
of come
found it
back
straight
off
away.
of it.
I
Yeah.
can't remember what track it was, and I was in the I think it was Brands Hatch in the Audi. I drifted the car around. Do you know when it goes into the GP circuit? That left-hander that normally goes right into the short version. I drifted a TT there. I'm thinking that's not normal. You don't drift the Group
No,
4 TT at
no,
Brands
not at
Hatch.
all. Well, that's what we're starting to discover for this Saturday's race with we're running the GR4 Megane around Red Bull. front wheel drive, two
Yeah,
hour race. Those back tires turned to ice. Like you're driving around after 10 laps and
yeah,
you see the blue square around them. And I haven't done a full simulation of it yet, but
yeah.
the guys are saying as soon as you put the soft tires on, your tires are ice in the back, it's a drift car.
Get the
Like,
there's
oh
an
God, I'm like, how are we supposed to make these things last an hour?
well, there's an app that you can use. I can't remember what it is. I'll probably put a link as well. But you can actually get your tire temps for Gran Turismo.
I've seen some of those. One of my buddies sent me some other streamer that was doing Gran Turismo had it up on his, I think it was on an iPad or
Yeah,
something like that, where he was watching his tire temps.
yeah. So I've got that. I'll send the link out at some point. But yeah, I used it with the Formula One games, and now they've added Gran Turismo a couple of months back. But you can see your tire temps, and I think you get like your fuel on there as well now. So it saves you having to look
Really
at the screen, so you can just put it just in front of you. But
interesting. Interesting. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. See, I don't know how much the tire temps would help me knowing if they are now, like what they are. I don't know
it's
if it
not
would make a big difference to
it's
me.
not very realistic. Compared to ACC, it's just not like you see the tire temperature
Really, eh?
going to like 90 and then down to 50 again, like pretty instant. So it's not. I don't
Mm.
think it's as realistic, but it's good to know because you can then kind of half judge. Um,
Yeah, I think it'd be more for like if you're getting to the point of overheating your tires or
yeah,
something like that, then that would be key to know. But yeah, I don't know if
yeah,
I don't even know if it's possible to overheat your tires in Gran Turismo like that. I know the dirty tires now are way worse.
that
You
might be a
get dirty
video.
tires and be
That
careful.
might be a video in the making. That can we destroy the
Right? You
tires
never
of
know.
Gran Turismo? Yeah,
Right.
so I'll
Well,
have a look at that.
it is different now where they before when you got all the way down to the red, it's like you had pop tire. You couldn't
Yeah,
turn. Now from these Porsche races, watching Sharky, Apex Sharky is the one fast kid, just smoking all of us right now. You won our last race by over 20 seconds, I want to say, but
blimey.
he was running on full red tires and he was still able to turn and stuff. So you can get away with going all the way down to the red if you absolutely have
Yeah,
to, and you're still able to keep it on track.
yeah. As long as you got a big enough lead, it can't be any
Oh
worse than
yeah, he
driving in
usually
the.
does, man.
It's not worse than driving that Spa in the current daily race when it's fully wet and dry tires.
I got luck. I've only had one wet race. I did 4 or 5 races, and the first race I jumped into was an absolute downpour. And I was like, "Well, I'm going to take intermediate." So half the field didn't, because I guess it's always been dry.
Yeah,
So I was just going through everybody. It was great. Then it
it's not
dried
great
out
when
for the
you're on
last
dry
4
tires.
laps.
Uh,
Oh, I bet.
I'll probably put it one of the races from yesterday. I'll probably put it as a video. But yeah, dry tires, full wets. It's absolute torrential. I think I went from first to last to first to last again in the
So
space of
easily
about four
done.
corners.
All right. That's what happened in one of our Porsche Cup races at the Red Bull Ring again. It was random weather. And my chat saved my butt on this one because they basically said just start on intermediates. The first 3 laps were dry though. So
Yeah,
I was just getting left behind, just left behind. Then the rain came. Within from the first corner before the second last corner on the Red Bull Ring,
yeah.
I was in second place. I got a short on that one too, where I'm just driving through everybody. It had slipstreams in it too. I'm like, sorry, slipstream, thank you, coming
See you
through.
later. Uh, but anyway, I think we've got about 3 minutes left, so I think we'll leave it there. But yeah,
Sounds
just want to
good.
say thank you. Um,
Well,
it's
thank you.
no, it's been a great chat. Like I'd like doing this because you got just get to meet people completely different to what we're used to, isn't it? Like not just a one-way conversation where I
Yeah,
text, you
face to the
chat.
name.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, people get to know you. Guys, hit that subscribe button. The link will be in the
Yes, hit that
description.
subscribe. Hit us both
Yeah,
up.
hit the subscribe. We've given you, I haven't mentioned it until the last minute or so. So hit the
There you
subscribe
go.
button. Greasy's link will be in the description down below. Um,
You should
hit
tune
mine.
in for Saturday's race too.
Yeah, Saturday. What time? Canadian?
It's 6 o'clock Eastern,
6 Eastern. So that's
American Eastern time.
7,
So
8, 9, 10, 11,
middle of
12,
the night for you.
1 a.m. 1 a.m.
1
GMT,
a.m. for you guys.
2 a.m.
I promise
European
it'll be
time.
worth it.
Um, there's a German guy that stays up, a Kiwi German, that
Yeah,
stays up to
we got
watch. So
another Australian that stays up for it too. Yeah,
yeah, so check that out. If you're in the States, it's only a couple hours. But yeah, and check out all the other videos as well. So yeah, thank you for that.
definitely.
Um,
And thank you.
and
That
I'll
was fun.
catch. It was definitely, and I'll catch you on one of your streams.
Definitely
Yeah.
sounds good, man. I'll join in on one of yours as well too.
Yeah, we'll probably I'll try and get my American account up so we can probably have proper races at some point.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll get my butt on being lazy and I'll start another account up. We'll
Yeah.
start. That's will be the new ones. We'll go from the back and see how long it takes to get to A.
Yeah. I mean, I'll never
Starting
get
from
to
the
A.
back.
I will never get to A plus
Oh,
at
we can
least.
get you there. I'll teach you. I'll teach you
All
the Sam
right.
Squanch ways. We'll get you there.
We'll get the greasy way. Stay greasy.
That's right. Yeah. Keep it greasy, everybody.
Yeah. Keep it greasy, everyone. All right, mate. Thank you for that. And I'll catch you soon, yeah?
Alrighty, man.
Uh,
Peace out, dude.
you too, mate. Peace out.